Constructing responses. Note this presentation is useful for the writing section of the ALST. However, the strategies in reading are directly applied to writing and vice versa. The ideas and language in one explain the other. The document-based responses. There will be 2 focused responses, 100 to 200 words each. The suggested amount is 150. Evaluating and comparing sources, 1 extended response. This is the argumentative essay. It's 400 to 600 words, but the suggested minimum is 525. 150 words is about half a page double-spaced, and 525 words is roughly a page and a half double-spaced. Keep track of the word count as you write because it is easy to go over for the focused response, and going back to cut words is time-consuming. In contrast, it is easy to be under for the extended response, so keep track of that as well. We suggest that you read the extended response question, skim the text for main points, read the focused response questions, read both entire passages carefully. The reason we suggest skimming first is that it gives you a context of the topic necessary to answer questions addressing the passage as a whole, and how paragraphs relate to the passage as a whole. Most of the questions refer to a specific line or part of the passage, so you'll need to go back to that section. Like the reading section, we suggest reading the questions first so you have an idea of what to read for while you read the 3 passages you'll use for your writing responses. Be clear. In the rubric, the words clearly appears about 4 to 6 times, and words with the same meaning, coherence, and clarity also appear, so just be sure to be blunt and straightforward. It will save time when you're writing instead of using flowery language that is almost beating around the bush, so just state the point and evidence frankly. Content counts more than grammar, so don't get stuck on grammar. Focus on your point and backing up your point with evidence. Leave time to do just a quick skim of the essay for grammar after. Make sure to hit all of the bullet points in the task. Here are some examples of how to go about starting your sentences. Starting your sentences, your ideas, is often the hardest part of writing an essay. So if you have some of these blueprints in mind, it will help you save time and energy. Being clear begins with language. No flowers. Here's an example of an introduction to an argumentative essay. Notice how blunt the language is as well as the clear structure. In this essay is a clear thesis and is at the end of the paragraph. There is no flowery language that will take time to construct and can potentially obscure your point or evidence. Citations. When citing on this test, you will need the year and author's first and last name the first time mentioned, then last name only. Author's name when paraphrasing at all times. You will also need quotations in your essay. They are absolutely required. Say, mean, matter. Say is what the author states or claims. Mean is what this means, what you've interpreted the author meant. And matter is why does this matter? Why or how is this information proving your argument? These 3 aspects should be near where you quote or paraphrase. Here's a set of examples of sentence structures designed to discuss sources. Again, having these structures in mind will help you save time by not getting caught up in trying to structure your sentences when incorporating sources. Feel free to pause the video here and look at these suggestions. Here's a set of examples of sentence structures to help discuss the opposing argument. Again, feel free to pause the video and take a closer look at these. One of the main aspects you'll be graded on, explicitly found in the rubric, is clarity. As well, you are limited in your word count. Here, we have some suggestions on how to stay concise to remain clear and not go over the word count. Since the audience you're told to address is educated adults, your language, which determines your tone, needs to be appropriate for this audience. As in, it needs to be sophisticated and formal, no slang, etc. For example, kid is less formal and can even be a nickname, while child is formal and has a more academic tone. Be objective and try to remove your personal biases. It's better to argue the most convincing claim than the side you believe in, so present the logic of the better argued side. Be assertive. Not only do we advise against using the first person in these responses, I, mine, we are first person, but sentences without I read as more of an assertion, a fact, as opposed to presenting a claim with I think. Furthermore, the reader of your essay already knows this is your writing, that this is your interpretation, so you don't need to reiterate that with I think. Likewise, the passive voice is not as assertive as the active voice, hint being in their names, so we suggest sticking with the active voice. For example, the chef prepared the meal is much more active than the meal was prepared by the chef.